I'm weighing 65 for him. You go about the same for her. So what we'll do is we'll do a couple of walk-arounds. Hey Corey, we haven't tried socializing right? So since I don't think he's socialized before, this weekend first we walking around, and then I take you some. Yep. Stand wide. Way in. Shh. Shh. She messaged me. She's coming to 5 again. We'll do one more on the next one. We're gonna stop. Yeah, we'll do a stop. Good. Reverse rolls. And you can click the remote to the fence here so we have to correct them. Cat didn't know what to do there. He snapped it. It's gonna lock that out. See if you come first. Good. What's up? You'll do both modes on my video. Actually, you'll do this. So, when I did this last time with Lexamina. You're moving reverse, trying to keep that side to side, avoiding face to face head turns, contact, so you can work down the research that habit.
Reverse, walk this way.
Yeah. And then we're trying to bring them in, so you're trying to get them used to just walking next to each other. So like, this is my adaptation of Cesar Millan stuff. So like Cesar Millan would go take them on a walk, so they're side by side, right? So they're close to each other, but they're not face to face, and the movement's just keeping them task at hand. And eventually they kind of forget about like, oh, there's this dog I don't like here, right? So it's similar. So if I'm working with someone in the home, and it's Chicago and it's cold outside, I was like, well, as long as you have a little bit of space, you can replicate to a degree what that would do. Okay, so we'll grab here, right here. So the way I tend to do it is if you hold, I usually go like this. Yeah, there you go. Okay, do myself.
How much leash should I do?
I would grab higher up. I would probably grab about 2 here, right? Because if things go south, it's not too much slack that you have to be try to divert them from each other. And then as you get used to it, you're more comfortable. You can start getting your slack. I'll let you know. Okay.
Right, should I walk over and I walk backwards?
You can walk just back this way. Yep. And what Bree was doing, because I worked with Bree on this, was just kind of ovaling around the inside of the pen. This. Yeah. And potential on right arm, keep them moving. There you go. Yep. Yeah. So you can see, right, when she looked at him right away, because he went defensive. Yep. And if things go south when one dog goes on the other, up and away. A little bit higher up on Ragnar. Yeah. And just lock it. There you go. Good. Yep. Okay. Because you want to be able to close them in. There you go. Keep moving. Attention on Ragnar. Yep. 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 And I tapped him, so he's going to be, how do you say, a little bit hesitant, so you got to keep that motion. Yeah, just like that. Just keep moving. There's a chair there. Yep. Yep. It's like they're twins. Yep. So turn to your left. There you go. Good. Try to bring Ragnar in. And then something that you could possibly do is, as you're moving back, like you grab higher on Tilly, and then you would bring Ragnar. So you can bring her in closer as you're moving back, and you bring Ragnar to her rear. Does that make sense? So you would shorten her because you want her closer to you. Yep. And then you would bring it like that. There you go. Yep, yep, good move. Yep, there you go.
So you're doing things you're talking about by yourself?
Kinda.
Switch it or not?
Yeah. So then you shorten up on his, you give a little bit of slack on hers. Yep, keep your movement, good. So when we pause, what ends up happening is if there's tension, they end up staying within that moment, and the movement kind of keeps them more so focused on the moving, not so much on the fact that there's a dog sniffing the rear or getting into the person's space. Yep, keep it. You're good. Yep. Good. Yep, good. So what you could do here is you go into a normal walk, and then you just have them walking on each side. So you would just move forward and then have them side by side. I'm not, so you, like that, good. And you'd shorten up on Ragnar's, there you go. Shorten up on Tilly's, good. And a little bit of slack, there you go. And then, there you go. Good. Yep, good, yep, good. So this is just slowly getting them acclimated, yep. Good, we'll do just a few laps around the pen here. So like if I do this myself, like if I were to use, if I had when I used to board dogs out of my home, for like boarding trains and stuff, since my guys are already social and they're already trained and know how to walk as a unit, they would all be on my left side, and the new dog, like Ragnar for example, would be on my right side. I just go with them for a long hour walk, you know? Mm-hmm. And sometimes within that walk, the dog will come, like just ease up, and I can integrate them with my pack, which typically causes panic because the close proximity and being wedged between 3 to 4 dogs. But you know, you keep your movement, and my guys I know are not going to react. I had another dog that I trained before that I knew wasn't going to react. It made it easy because I'm just addressing like the one dog. And eventually, the brain gives up, like they can't keep that tension the whole time. They get tired, and they just accept like, okay, I'm in the midst of 3 to 4 dogs. And then I repeat that process over the course of a couple of days. And then finally, I feel like the dog is opened up. I would then do a long walk, integrate the dog into the pack. At the very end, we'd walk into the yard, and I would let that dog's leash go, take off the other dog's leashes, and let them just do their thing. And the chances of success doing it that way are like way higher than like trying to rush into it. But this is like adapted approaches depending on what I have available, whether it's a person's living room or like this pen area here. Good. Now what we're going to do is just turn the grass if you close. It's going to work on side by side. Steps. So he keeps kind of putting tension back here because he's uncomfortable. I'm going to have you, so I get that right. Tap him. Good. I got too close to his head, and you're like, it's like, what the hell? What are you fixing? It'd be cool if you had the other two.
The other two, Morrow.
Frankie. Frankie's the one that's a squirrel. see Ragnar panting here. So he's venting the situation. I think Tilly's still a bit tense. Rags on the inside.
Is there more pressure on Ragnar and Tilly?
More pressure for Ragnar because he's got like he's 10, right? So if I were like another dog, it'd be real difficult. They usually start bucking around. Yep. There we go. They usually start bucking around. You don't have to do it.
More pressure on the middle dog?
Yeah. Those are cracked. Ragnar there. His business. So like if I were an actual like I would be allowing Tilly to stuff and stuff. I would be correcting all that. Because I'm not going to be that focused, right? Like I'm going to be looking at what I'm doing. But here I let it go simply because this is control. Jerry. Jesus. Get up, walking, and then bumping into each other. Things like that. Good. So you see like Rags does not know what to do here. Rags. Rags and Tilly here socializing. Both dog reactive, dog aggressive. And Tilly went and placed herself right next to Rags. We actually got on video, but I just wanted to share this because this was pretty cool. Considering how reactive Ragnar can be and Tilly. Very good. So as you can see the panting. Panting is venting stress. Letting go of everything that just happened right now. Ragnar just closed his mouth because he heard something in the back. So that's a little tension. You can see it. Very good. Very cool stuff. And like, this doesn't seem like because everybody compares things to running around playing. That this doesn't seem like much, right? Comparative to what they're wanting. But this is how it starts. It's just coexist. right? Good. Good. Oh, he was starting. See him breathing heavier. That's how it starts. There it is. It's just getting used to, like, I can be around another dog. It's fine. Right? Eventually, you do this so many times. Ideally, like, at some point, the brain goes, like, okay, like, what's the next step? And you start to see curiosity, again. But it's that face-to-face that always ends up being like an issue. The sniffing and the face-to-face, but the face-to-face, the heart is the hardest of everything. So that typically takes more time. Because if we're remoting and correcting, like for the behaviors and stuff, you can also kill curiosity. Right? Because then the dog's like, well, I thought about being social. And they don't differentiate that social and that attention part. When you kick in with emotion, there be tension. Then it kind of sets you back. So then you're constantly like you're moving forward and like just like back and forth like this, until eventually you're at a crossing point where the dog either understands that this means simply like too much, don't get too much, or don't get tense, like just relax and continue with what you're doing. But in the beginning, it's going to be a big deterrent, especially when we get highly reactive dogs like this, because the consequences have been so like harsh to get them to like squash all that crap, that they're even more apprehensive, right? So when they feel this, they're going like, well, it was low, but I know where it can go. So I don't want it to go there, so I'm gonna like not, you know what I'm saying? So they tend to like be apprehensive. So like if I work with like resource guarders, resource guarding is super easy to work with. But then the problem is, a lot of times the dogs don't want to have any interest in the food or the bone or whatever. Because they're like, nah, because I'm gonna just get remoted, right? So it's very nuanced, and it takes a long time to like build comfort and trust. Like, hey, you can have this, but when I tell you out, you need to release it and walk away. We're not going to fight over this. Same kind of concept where you're trying to get them to be social, but you have to still address behaviors as they come up. But then when you address those behaviors, it sets you back because now the dog's thinking consequence. They don't want to get consequence. So, like if these guys came every day, if we had the same group like these dogs, we would like repeat. Eventually, you start to see the wag, and then the steps are like being next to each other, calm and like not moving is one thing. Once you got up and walked away and he didn't trigger, that was actually good, because a lot of times the brain will just like reset, and once something happens, they go back to that zone. So that was good. But like if they've never played with another dog, then when that energy gets introduced, probably going to see something again. Right? Because at first it was like, hey, we're calm, and all of a sudden they're like up here, and very quickly that excitement triggers into aggression or reactivity. So then it's like, now you got to address that, and then you repeat, and then they try to play, but then they don't want to play because they don't want to get promoted. That's not because they were playing, but because they got overwhelmed. So this is good. Because I've seen where these two can go, and so I have to be like on it. Good. See how she dipped her head a little bit? There's a little bit of uncertainty there. So, that works. The next review would be laying down. Okay, let's just lay down. Be more relaxed. Questions?
Last time Tilly was the one that was moving around, like trying to like secure something, right? Is that Tilly?
Yeah. Oh, Frankie.
Oh, Frankie.
That was Frankie. Or maybe it was Tilly. They look alike. They look like really alike. It may have been Tilly. Well, we got on video, right? Tilly? Very good.